Huber, that was right as we went live.
Excellent. Perfect timing.
Brother.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
For those of you who missed it, Huber just burped right as we went live. It was great. Hello, welcome to the December Q&A. We're doing the December questions in January. Happy New Year. I hope you're all enjoying your day. We had a good night last night. Unfortunately, I'm still in Iowa, so I have a little bit of a strange setup. I can't have my webcam, but hopefully you can still hear my voice. We're joined by a choice selection of allies. Hi, everybody.
Yo.
Hello.
Choice.
Choice selection.
Yeah.
A burpee selection of allies.
Good look.
Cream of the
Good
crop.
lingo.
Yeah. And we're going to get started with the questions. Are we ready?
Yes.
Our first question comes in from Michelle. Sup, allies? I hope you all had a nice holiday. Over the holidays, I was playing Smash Ultimate around my family and was pleasantly surprised by the results. I main Ness, and when my mom first saw him, she was instantly a fan. That's a cool mom. She now gushes about how adorable he is every time he gets brought up and would occasionally ask me to play Smash so that she could see him. She even told me if I had a son, I'd want him to be like Ness.
Wow.
This was quite surprising because she typically doesn't take much of an interest in newer games. She prefers arcade games. Allies, has anyone ever surprised you with their enthusiasm for a game or game character?
I have one from just this trip. So my cousin-in-law, the guy who just married one of my cousins very recently in October, recently picked up games again. He had lapsed last year. And so for a wedding present, I got him eShop cards because I knew they had a Switch. Just gave him a ton of eShop money. They bought a bunch of things. One of them was Smash Bros. Ultimate, of course. And so he's talking to me. And he's talking to me about World of Light and, how long it is and everything. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm right there too, dude. And so I'm like, so who are you playing as most of the time? And he goes, I wanted to make it right. I have not switched from Kirby the entire time. And I thought about that for the rest of the day. I was like, what? That guy is so cool. It's like, what? How is he doing Kirby the whole time? He's like, I just treat it like a Kirby game. And I'm like, what? He's like, how did you win? How'd you win some of those fights as Kirby? So I just had this mad respect for him suddenly, even though he can play guitar and sing. And even though he's a really nice, fun guy, it was that brought him to the next tier for me.
I can imagine that, at his funeral, everybody will be bringing up, what a great person. Be like, hey, listen, this guy, he played Kirby throughout the entirety of World of Light.
Yep, never switch characters.
He's so long.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Oh,
My brother really likes Blaze in Streets of Rage.
Nice.
Which always caught me off guard. He loves Blaze.
Blaze is cool.
Yeah, Blaze is cool.
What's he say about the redesign?
Dude, I showed him. He loves it.
Nice. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen
So
Blaze in
stoked.
Streets of Rage before. I gotta check this out.
Dude, a new GIF came out where it's a 10-second clip, and oh my god. Amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Streets of Rage 4 will be a good group stream.
Yes.
I think. We'll
Hell
all
yeah.
be pretty happy.
Hell yeah.
My brother, he hasn't really been into games much. I think the last thing he had was a GameCube that I'd given him for Christmas. I don't even think he played that too much. And a couple months ago, he got a new job, and he has to drive a long way, and he has to travel with it from time to time. And the guys there got him playing PUBG on mobile. And so it was this bizarre thing where my brother is asking me how to play PUBG on the phone a couple months ago. And then, so this Christmas, I downloaded the PS4 version. I was showing him that. And the funny thing is there's certain just mobile specific things that they changed with the game design, where he's I think I still like it better on mobile. And wow. I don't think he's necessarily wrong either, because
whoa.
Woo.
Mobile.
Seems almost like it's a smoother experience just because they had to pare it down.
The mobile gaming takeover. My girlfriend and I play a lot of games together, and there's many games that she's enjoyed. She has enjoyed no series of games more than Pikmin. It's her absolute favorite. And we just last No, 2 nights ago we finished Pikmin 3 for the first time together, and that was very fun. And she just adores Olimar. She loves Olimar, which I did not expect. And she got me a cute little Olimar shirt for Christmas. And so that was
Aw.
a fun
Nice.
thing to share.
Ben, how wild is that ending?
That ending is crazy. I guess I
Comes
don't
out of
really want to
nowhere.
spoil it, but that whole like ending sequence
Yeah.
is very stressful and very crazy. Yeah. It really just comes out of nowhere. You
Mhm.
don't have any hint of it until it happens. Yeah. Brandon or Brad, you got anything?
I would say just my brother playing World of Warcraft and vanilla, 'cause he hadn't played games since Super Nintendo, and then he saw me playing it one day. He's like, "Oh, this game looks dumb." Then he like slowly got into it. Then he started making his own character. Then he started raiding, and he surpassed me in everything. Just wild.
He still plays, doesn't he?
Not right now, but yeah, still interested.
My sister-in-law really got into either Tomb Raider or Rise. I can't remember. And I've since like thrown a couple games at her to try to, she's a big fan of like Lego games and fun stuff she can play with my brother. But that was like the first thing I remember getting a text from my brother, and he was like sent me a picture of her like hunched over, like staring at the TV, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's one thing to play games with people and like enjoy, like multiplayer games or just kind of like a social party atmosphere, but to see someone like clearly committed, just like, don't talk to me right now, I'm playing this game. I was proud of her. Like, yeah, she made it. That was a while ago, though. I've yet to hit a home run like that since.
Cool. All right. Our next question comes in from Alexander. Hello, allies. Before this year's Game of the Year deliberation, there was a huge conversation between allies about whether Fortnite, an early access game from 2017, can be nominated in 2018 when it became a worldwide phenomenon. In an effort to put all disputes to rest, Kyle has developed a strict set of rules to determine which game is eligible for the GOTY and which is not. Unfortunately, he made the rules too strict, and now the most important category has only 2 titles to choose from. Which game
Way to go,
will
Kyle.
become the Easy Allies Game of the Year 2018? Fallout 76 or The Quiet Man?
Quiet man.
Quiet Man, easily.
Oh, Quiet Man.
Quiet man.
Yeah.
Quiet man.
So many
I don't understand the question, but the quiet man.
Fallout
Yeah,
76.
I was scared that was going to get real complicated.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like
thankfully,
The
it's
Quiet Man
Fallout.
at least brought some joy to
Yeah.
some of us.
Right.
Real
Right.
good laughs.
No. I can't. Like, that game is, like, I
Kyle,
can't reward
no,
it.
I don't
It's-
care how
Fallout wins.
freaked out you were by it. You did not play Fallout 76 for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, dude.
At
Beekman.
least the Quiet Man was quick and over with.
Beekman comes and goes.
Beekman comes and goes. That's right.
Yeah, isn't Quiet Man short too?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, dude.
It's short-lived.
But then you have to play through it again to hear what they were saying.
No,
Yeah.
one and done. The one and done.
Read the audio.
I think we've reluctantly picked The Quiet Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Next question comes in from Robert 7 Lee. Right here and right now, as a collective, which one of these would you say is the best game? Assassin's Creed 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Journey, Mass Effect 3, XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Journey or XCOM?
Yeah.
XCOM.
My mind immediately went to XCOM, but I could see Journey as well. Totally.
Yeah, I really liked going back to Journey. The first time I played it, I was in the, not throwing shade, Kyle, but I was in the bossman mentality where I didn't want to be bothered by anyone. So I played Journey offline the first time, and that was really cool. But then I got to go back when it was remastered on PS4, and I got to experience it with other people and like do that whole thing. It was magical, dude.
Oh,
And I
playing
think- and
with other people.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I think you can play it like both ways, offline or with other people. I don't know. It was cool.
I'd give it to Journey.
Yeah,
Journey hype.
yeah. I could see that. Because there are a bunch of other games that have kind of mimicked what Journey has done, but I still think Journey is like a pretty singular experience. Whereas XCOM 2 is very iterative in a lot of ways, and although those games are different, I don't know. I think I would sooner go back to XCOM 2 than Enemy Unknown.
Nice.
But yeah, Journey is awesome. Next question comes in from Bino. Happy New Year, allies. You can each pick one single game from each console generation to receive a high-budget remaster remake for the next generation of consoles. We'll go by the generations included in the latest frame trap. So Gen A equals NES Master System, Gen B equals Super Nintendo Genesis, Gen C equals PS1 N64 Saturn, Gen D equals PS2 GameCube Xbox Dreamcast, Gen E equals PS3 360 Wii, Gen F equals PS4 Xbox One Wii U. Switch is not included because I feel like we'll come to look at it more as part of the next generation of consoles. What games do you pick, and if you feel like it, why? So let's start with Gen A here. Which game would you like to see a high-budget remake for?
I have a question, actually. Did that last person trick us into doing GOTY 2012? Were those all 2012 releases, or were those all the same year?
I think
they
might have
been.
been.
I think we got tricked.
At game trailers in 2012.
It was a specific list, though. Like when he started with Assassin's Creed 3, I was like, "Here we go," and then Journey. I'm like, "Wait, what? What is this weird list?"
I was thinking what they have in common. Release year. Yeah, we got tricked into picking.
There's got to be better 2012 games than those 5 or 6, though.
That was it, dude. It was a weird year.
I was right. I think that is the game trailers GOTY list. I'd have to double check, sure, but I think he's right.
Welcome to my trick.
Journey, dude.
Yeah, we got tricked.
Busted.
What won that year?
XCOM won.
I don't think
XCOM or Journey, dude. Both so good.
We're responsible. Like, I wasn't in that meeting. I know Hubert wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, just a different time.
Different era.
Both great.
Yeah.
Let's give the Sega Master System a bone.
I would really like I know they've done remix of the original Phantasy Star, but
yes,
they have
that's
come
the
out
correct
over
choice,
here.
Ben.
And you're talking big budget too.
I'm talking big budget. I'm saying
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams presents Phantasy Star.
Phantasy Star Universe. Let's go.
That's actually a game.
Phantasy Star Universe Final Mix. Let's go.
Cool.
Yo, can you believe that we're the month that Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out?
I thought that when I woke up this morning.
Did you?
Oh, maybe. It's so close I can smell it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like Phantasy Star wasn't too controversial there.
Phantasy Star, dude. Everything.
No.
I feel like so many things we've wanted to be remastered or remade have actually come to fruition. I know Dino Crisis is a huge one that gets thrown around a bunch.
Yeah,
but I would take Phantasy Star, dude.
So
For
Gen
you,
B,
Ben.
thank you.
For
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Gen B, we've got Super Nintendo and Genesis. I think this is pretty hard.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trigger.
Right.
Okay, that was easy. Yep. All right.
We've seen what it could be based
Yeah.
on those fan projects that got canceled.
Not
Easy.
that hard.
Next.
We'll get to 6 one day. Just put it lower on the list. Just dump it down.
It'll get us time, Jones.
We need the 11th game based on 7, and then we'll get back to 6.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm afraid of what Modern Square would do with either one of those games, but
That is an excellent point.
6 is going to be very anime, Jones.
That's fine.
All right.
I get it. I see the character.
Yeah.
I've seen Yoshitaka
I think the
Amano's
thing-
work. I know where this comes from.
yeah, I think the thing, at least with Chrono Trigger, like the game itself has such a clear, distinct art style that they couldn't go too far away from.
Sure.
With 6, there's so much interpretation that like whatever they would come up with, I'd be probably like, whoa.
Right.
Would they call her Tina in it? Would they
Yeah.
get it right?
Yeah.
That would be strange for me.
Very strange for me too.
Gen C, PS1, N64, Saturn.
Already get it, baby. Final Fantasy 7. It's coming.
How about Panzer Dragoon Saga?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking
Oh.
too.
Dude,
do
isn't
it.
Panzer Dragoon like coming?
Not Saga.
Well,
though,
Not
yeah.
Saga.
Saga's the RPG. It's like
Yeah.
a weird like RPG offshoot that turned out to be actually really good.
That's right.
And it's just so hard to get a hold of.
Mhm.
That would be a great choice, Kyle.
sick.
I have it. I need to play it at some point. Gen D, we've got. I love this Sega love that we're having. PS2, GameCube, Xbox, Dreamcast.
PS2, GameCube, Xbox.
This is the era where we're already getting them now,
Yeah, true.
and like droves.
SX.
SSX.
Done.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
You have my support, John.
Lock it in. Tricky 3, whatever you got to do.
With
Whatever EA
Frostbite,
thinks will sell more.
Frostbite. That's right.
Frostbite Snow, dude. Frostbite Snow.
I feel like, considering how the rest of these requests have gone, it's hard just not giving this one to Jones and SSX.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw him a bone.
Huber, those snow levels look so good in the Star Wars games. Frostbite can handle snow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's happening. 2019.
It's happening.
I have my prediction ready.
Draft your tweet.
Yep.
Gen E, PS3, 360, Wii.
Demon Souls.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think it would be hilarious to have like a stupid amount of money thrown at Deadly Premonition.
Dude,
More
that's a
often.
great pick. That's a great pick, Ben.
I was thinking the first Mass Effect. It was still
Yeah,
pretty jank.
I want the whole trilogy. That's what I'm waiting for.
Sure.
Or one of the
I think
reasons why.
Mass Effect 1, though, is such a good pick, Blood. I like it.
Remake Lords of Shadow. Just redo it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not fighting for that one.
I'm still curious. I wonder if one day we'll ever see the prototype for whatever the EGA game was supposed to be for that gen.
The Dreamcast one?
No. The PS3 Castlevania that was basically in competition with Lords of Shadow for which one was going to get made. We saw a little teaser at Tokyo Game Show that was just like a character, and that was it.
Really? What?
I bet
want that
Konami
one.
destroyed it, Blood.
Oh, yeah. Of course they did.
I wonder if EGA got a tape out.
Oh, he probably did. Yeah. A secret EGA tape.
I wonder if throwing a bunch of money at the original Nier would ruin some of its charm. I'm curious to see. It probably would be good.
I think they could still make it really good.
They could still do all the different crazy
Yeah.
styles in that game. We haven't settled on one, though.
Mass Effect is my vote.
I would vote for Mass Effect.
Sure, Mass Effect.
Okay.
We're giving Jones 2 in a row? Okay.
Yeah, dude. Jones
It wasn't my suggestion.
I
It was
suggested
Bloodworth.
Okay.
That was a no check.
All right.
BioWare needs good news.
True.
Gen F, PS4, Xbox One, Wii U. I would like to see just like, let's just say we redid it completely, Sunset Overdrive, just like do it all over again, or Wonderful 101.
Good picks, Ben. Games that really need a second chance. And I mean, like, let's do Sunset Overdrive because like we don't have a gamepad anymore.
Or Wonderful 101 because we don't have a gamepad anymore.
Sorry, Wonderful 101. Yeah. That's what let's do Sunset Overdrive because we can't do Wonderful 101 because we don't have gamepads.
Sure. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, the gamepad is really important to that experience.
I'm down.
Yeah, way down.
All right, this was pretty democratic. Nice job.
Just put
All right.
Overdrive on PS4. That's like even better.
There
than
you go.
It's even cheaper. You know what I mean? Get all these people like all worked up after finishing Spider-Man. Like, there you go.
Yeah.
The adventure continues.
This is from Mike Hook. Hi, allies. I hope your holidays went well. As we all know, Santa is a very mysterious man. Your task: rank the 9 allies from most mysterious to most open.
Dawn, number 1.
Dawn is
Number one most.
Right.
Damiani, number 2.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put Huber number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's more open than Huber?
Nobody. That's why he gets the.
Oh
9.
yeah, number 9.
I gotta be 8.
100%.
I gotta be 8 though. Like we shoot at my house. That's pretty transparent.
Yes.
Sure.
No, that could be mysterious if I try.
Kyle's pretty high on that mysterious list.
Kyle's pretty mysterious.
Yeah, I would put him after maybe Damiani.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Brad
Is
behind Kyle.
Damiani not mysterious? Maybe.
I don't know. You know what? Ruins the mystique is like how much he streams at night, and it's just like, oh well, now I'm living with Damiani.
Yeah.
Just a night owl.
Damiani just like to pay rent on stream.
But I do think, even knowing Damiani personally, that his ambitions are a mystery still. So I feel like that adds to the mystique of Damiani. Like, what is he
Maybe to
after?
you. Maybe to you.
Being Hokage is that mysterious.
Yeah, so Kyle 3, Brad 4, Ben 5.
Yeah, Ian's pretty open, I think.
And then
Ian's,
Blood behind. Oh, sure, Ian. Oh, yeah.
I think
Ian's-
you could mix that middle group around.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Blood's more mysterious than Ian.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Blood
Yeah,
is Blood's a little mystery to it.
Because Blood, you're good about like just the statements where we all like, wait, what? Like you'll just say something kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I did that weekend. We're like, wait, we were where and did what now?
Yeah.
You're shocking with your truths sometimes. So it makes me think there's got to be more. Gonna be a lot there we don't know.
All right, our next question comes in from Brandon. Hi, allies. First of all, I want to wish everyone a happy new year, and I hope everyone had a great time over the holidays. With it being 2019, I was wondering what everyone's goals and resolutions they have for themselves and for Easy Allies as a whole in the coming year. Last year, I was so amazed at all the great stuff from Easy Allies that brought me so much joy. You guys just keep doing what you always do, and I know 2019 will be a fantastic year for you guys. Also, congrats on actually getting a studio. Can't wait to see all the amazing stuff to come from it.
My big work goal for Easy A is guests. I want to get more people involved in our stuff, and my personal goal is to be available more. I can shut the phone off very easily, and it feels good, but I gotta stop doing that.
Wow.
Be more accessible.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I want, now that we have a studio, I want Syndrome to be more engaged like Huber Hype was with the audience. So I want to bring back comments, like community comments and stuff. That's always one of my favorite things, and we had to abandon that. So I want to bring that back.
Nice. Love the comments, Huber.
Yeah.
I want to do more reviews. More.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already do quite a few.
Yeah.
That was a review rush at the end of the year, Brad. It was nice.
Yeah.
We're sitting on another one I got to get through today.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Brad.
I would like for things just to be like a little bit more focused and consistent. So like, I enjoy doing full playthroughs of games, and like those are some of my best memories of 2018. I just think all of them took a little bit too long. So when we start Tales of Vesperia in January, I'd like to be done pretty quickly. So that would mean probably streaming longer, but I'd like to knock that out and have those things be more consistent. Personally, I'd love to spend a lot less time just dicking around on the internet, just looking at stuff and getting caught up in pointless things that aren't really helping anybody, and just use that time for other things, whether it's more game time, which is there's already quite a lot, but or watching more anime, or just doing something that's a little bit more productive than dicking around on the internet.
Good.
This is weird. Easy Allies' goal is to create iconic moments.
Now you're thinking big.
I'm thinking big. I want to create iconic moments so that when people think of Easy Allies, they have a vision. They have this moment in their mind of what that is. That's my goal.
But that's hard to have. I feel like that's a hard goal because those moments just kind of happen,
Yeah, I can't make it artificial.
You can't force those.
You got to foster the environment.
Yeah. You can't force those, but like you can do as much as you can.
Set yourself up to have them.
Yep.
Bosman's gonna be like a nature photographer. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes, Jones.
You don't know if that leopard's coming by, but he's ready. He's gonna be in the bush with the binoculars. He's gonna get that pic when it comes by.
100% that, Jones. Wonderful analogy.
All right. I
think like Ben's was this time of year. I'm always like, I need to play more games. So it's a very hard thing for me to actually have happen sometimes, especially with the move. It was like practically a month where I didn't play anything.
Sure. Yeah. I know what you mean. it's weird that our job is to play video games in a professional capacity, and I think we all feel like we need to play more stuff.
Yes.
If only World of Light wasn't so long.
I tell you, Ben, every time I grabbed my Switch, I intended to play Smash Brothers, but I kept on playing Pokemon.
That's okay. I think that's still a win. I think that's a win.
How many badges you got, Jones?
5.
Nice.
Yeah. Took me a long time to figure out that surf has to be learned from Surfboard Guy. I had to look that one up because I was like, wait, I completely walked through Fuchsia City and I didn't get the fishing pole. I'm like, where do we get the fishing poles? Like, went back to that town and then like was running along talking to everybody. And I finally had to look it up. And they were like, oh yeah, remember you teach all that stuff to Pikachu now. I'm like, oh right. I forgot. Took a while. Moving on.
That's our first iconic moment of 2019.
It is.
On a roll. Next question comes in from Richard. He says, "Happy holidays, allies. I've recently gotten into a relationship, which is alien enough to begin with. But what's even weirder is that I'm back with someone that I was in a relationship with in college. More than 16 years have passed. She has kept up with her own hobbies, but gaming was never truly central to them. Back in 2002, I'd try and fail to let her win at Tekken 4, or I would succeed at ruining her night with Silent Hill 2, but she's been out of the loop for a long time. To showcase gaming in 2018, I decided to bring her up to date in the most devilish way possible. I hid my smirk, leaned back, and said, okay, so this is where we're at. I then threw down the gauntlet of all the Death Stranding trailers. My favorite part of her immediate confusion was the transition to seething anger. She didn't understand it. She absolutely needs to know what it's about and has checked up with me since to make sure I'm buying it. If you had someone that's out of the loop at the end of 2018, purely for a reaction, what would you showcase?"
Death Stranding.
I've got 3 things in mind. The Starlink Star Fox trailer might be good. The Smash Brothers trailers might be good.
Yeah, just half of the World of Light intro. So they just see every Nintendo character get eviscerated. And then you don't even show them Kirby surviving. Be like, that game's coming out. What do you think? And they're like, what the hell is what?
It's pretty good.
And I'm not vouching for the game, but I think I just want to show people the Jump Force trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Everyone is here. I don't know.
Everyone.
Any other weird or, I don't know, things you want to show people?
Mario plus Rabbids is a pretty good head scratcher, I think.
Yeah, that's a good one, Blood. That's very good.
Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
Oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake along
And
those.
Final Fantasy 7, yeah.
We haven't made that yet, though.
I'd show Kingdom Hearts, man. That's super weird.
Kingdom Hearts.
This is something like I never do. I just like hate like showing someone else a video. It's like a true anxiety of like sitting next to a person like you're gonna love this, and then like looking over it like I can never do that.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a new trailer, Kyle, yeah. And I want to show Amanda, it's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, hold on, wait, I got a text. It's like, you'd stop. You need to just stop. Just watch it or don't watch it. But there's no middle ground.
I make him put on headphones, Kyle.
Nice.
Like if I show someone something, I say, put on your headphones. You go in there. I'll be out here.
Nice.
You
That's a
come out
good
when you're
method.
Do we have any other things that we want to show?
Yeah, show them that Sekiro Devil May Cry trailer. Give them both.
All right. Just as
Back to
matters
back.
of taste. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is where you need to be. All right.
Yeah.
Our next question comes in from Carl. Happy 2019, allies. Since another big game got leaked, Kingdom Hearts 3, I will ask this question. Imagine if you are not part of the gaming industry. There was one game, past, present, or future, that was sold before its intended release date, and you managed to get a copy, and you could play it from start to finish before the rest of the public. What would that game be, and why? Here's to hoping 2019 is a great year for games.
For me, the new Pokemon game. It sucks when like it's so fun to explore a Pokemon game and see new Pokemon in there that you have never seen before, like out in the grass, you know. But most of those appear in marketing materials way ahead of the game's release. So I'm choosing Pokemon.
That's good, Kyle. That was a good choice.
If it comes out next year, I'd pick The Last of Us Part 2.
That's a good choice. I think if I wasn't lucky enough to review it, Persona 5, just because that was a game that I had been waiting for years, and so like if somebody ruined that like a day before it came out or something, I would have been pretty crushed, and it would have made going through 100 hours of that, I think, not super fun. So that would be one I'd go back in time and try to get an early copy of. Anyone else?
Probably Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about
Let me
Shenmue?
make up. Yeah. I feel like nobody can change my mind about Shenmue 3.
I see.
Whereas like the public consciousness of Death Stranding may interfere with my brain. You know,
There's going to be
people are
some
gonna have
hot takes.
the hot takes.
Yeah.
Too many
And
hot
the-
takes.
And like
I'm not
the
hyped.
and the meaning of it all, you know, people's interpretation of the game will then affect my interpretation of like what's the meaning of it all. People will have all these theories. So I think Death Stranding.
I don't have a game, but I need to see Us like today. Like I don't want any more trailers, commercials. I don't want people talking about that movie. I want to see that film right now. I want it to be on my television now. That was like a first thought. I watched it right when that trailer was over. I was like, "Oh, this ad campaign is gonna suck," because like I don't want to say anymore. Like I'm so, and I normally don't care about spoilers. And I really could think about the last like 10 years of games. I'm like, I don't know if there's anything that got spoiled for me in games that was frustrating. But I just know the next trailer, I'm gonna want to avoid it, but I'm not gonna be able to, and I'm gonna be like, crap, I didn't need to see that shot. Damn.
Jones, what's funny is when I saw Spider-Man, they had a trailer for like one of those dog movies that's made by like the same people that made the other dog movies.
I got tweeted about that. Yeah, I was
It's
talking
like
about
the
that on Twitter.
whole film
Yeah.
in the trailer. I'm like, why would I even see this? Like, I know the complete
And the movie's called
art.
How the Dog Gets Home or something, and you're like, great, thanks. I'm excited to just. It's literally you're paying to cry. It's like I would $15 to cry, please. Like I don't really care, but I know he's gonna get home. I know everything's gonna be happy, but I just want to cry about it.
So our entire theater laughed at the end of that trailer.
Yeah.
It was like this. It was because like we didn't know at the beginning like if it was okay to laugh or if this is like a real movie, and then it just got worse and worse. And then when we saw the ending of the movie in the trailer, we burst out laughing, all of us. It felt so good. I can't believe that dumb movie. I can't believe it. Sony, and that's a Sony movie, I think.
Surprise.
Our next question comes in from Joey. He asks, opinions and thoughts about the whole Defy Media shutdown fiasco.
Fiasco?
Maybe people just didn't know. I don't know. I think the writing was on the wall for a lot of people that were there. It's tough because like I don't really know how Defy Media ran. You know, like they didn't seem like people were interested in our success at game trailers, but like there weren't a lot of people that were interested in game trailers itself. And so it's like I don't know how much they were invested in those other brands. Like I don't know what it's like to work at Smosh. Like did you feel loved? I don't know. Like they got sent to like Egypt and stuff. So like it seemed like a dream job, but at the same time they were all cooped up in a small office while we all got cubicles. So it was like it was tough to gauge the worth of any one person. You remember that? I won't say the guy's name, but remember we had like that meeting with like, I think it was the highest level executive at Defy meeting that we just had as a company. We were on stage on the blue set. It was right after that got built. And it was so funny because we were just standing in the room and the person was like, yeah, it's going to be great. And we're all just like, okay, cool. Smiling and nodding. Like this wasn't a strategy meeting, you know, like there wasn't like, goals weren't being set. It was just like, I need to be here to show these people I exist. Okay, I'm out, you know, and then like we never had a meeting. I had meetings with that person, but like company, you know, for all of us to be in the same room. So it was just that, like there weren't a lot of speed bumps, you know, that we had to deal with. outside of moving between the buildings, which was obnoxious. But yeah,
I mean,
it's hard.
There were, in terms of the whole communication between Viacom and Defy and that whole site transition and
oh man,
that
yeah,
monster headache.
Yeah,
that player's life for 3 years or whatever. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the whole general, I think there's a lot going on, a lot of conversation that I just haven't tuned into. Like, I don't need to follow the drama, and I know there's been a lot of drama in terms of, how they structured payments to people and different partners were treated differently and all that. And so I don't feel like I have any insight to add to that in any way, because I think our situation was different than most of the other people's. So like, we can talk about stuff we went through to a degree, but as far as like how all the other brands and channels are handled, I really don't feel like I know that much to be able to add to it.
This is probably a little cold, like unnecessarily so, but I kind of equate it to like not even a person that you hated in high school, just a person that maybe really got on your nerves. And like, 10 years later, if somebody came up to you and they're like, this thing is going on in this person's life, and you just have no interest in reconnecting with that person, like I don't feel any love for Defy, and I'm not really invested in what happens to them. There are people that worked under them that I liked, but like as a company, as an entity itself, we're done with that, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
There's a weird sense to me, though, that it's strange because like I'm not sure how much they actually had to do with it, but like that period was pretty. It's oddly critical to our success. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Like right. If everyone else hadn't been laid off, we wouldn't have become the team that we were, because we didn't have to work together in that way until we were under Defy, and we went through all that stuff together. And so like a lot of stuff that our fans now talk about, like being remembering of game trailers, was really just like a year and a half to 2 years of our lives. Wasn't very indicative of the rest of game trailers.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point that you bring up. Like, we would absolutely not be here today if those things didn't happen. It was just the thing that was always hard about Defy, that we would like be constantly joking about, behind closed doors, is just how little they cared about us and how blatant that was in so many of the decisions that they made, which in turn I think informed how we acted and the type of stuff that we made. But yeah, I don't know. Not because it was like a group of people that really felt like suits to me. It's just hard to drum up any sort of interest. But yeah. Anybody have any other thoughts on Defy Media or them shutting down?
I really like the jacket they gave us.
The hoodie?
It's a good sweater. It's a good hoodie. Quality. Holds up.
Yeah.
I have this weird feeling where like I'll put it on sometimes. I'm like, it's so comfortable. But it says Defy Media on it. Like, it's a very conflicting feeling. Yeah. It is nice. All right. Our next question comes in from Robert. He says, oops, forgot to think of a question. I just signed up for Marvel Unlimited for a year. What should I read? It's okay if it isn't on Marvel Unlimited. Alias 2003 isn't on there. I just went to Comixology and bought Volume 1 for $6. I pretty much haven't read anything Marvel in the 2000s and beyond. I have no suggestions. Does anybody have any Marvel suggestions?
Hawkeye.
Yeah, sure.
Matt Fraction, my Hawkeye.
I got a Marvel t-shirt. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Jones.
1602 is dope. Sorry.
I got a Marvel t-shirt for Christmas, and there were 2 characters on it I didn't know, and one was Circe from the Eternals. And I was like, the Hoozles? And I looked that up, and I was chatting with some friends, and a friend of mine said Neil Gaiman did a run of the Eternals that's magnificent, and I'm currently tracking that down.
Cool.
So, and it's fun because it's like I think the Eternals is one of those things that's like still not TV or movie-fied yet, and so it like might be fun to get in on that before you see how it's created. if they they make a show out of it or something, or if it pops up on Shield.
Cool. Any other suggestions?
Well, no, but I just have to say this is like a question that like I would need to get answered sometimes if I ever dove into that. Every once in a while, I just have that feeling like I'd like to actually read the quote unquote real story.
Sure.
Because it's like I realized playing through Spider-Man and watching Into the Spider-Verse, and like I don't actually know anything about Spider-Man or most of these characters.
What's wrong with that?
My wife's asking me about Black Cat, and I'm like, you know as much as I do right now.
She's a flirt. Not much else to it.
Catwoman.
Yeah, it's just
0.5.
Our next question comes in from Andrew. He says, "Hey allies, considering that we are now looking ahead into 2019, I wanted to get your opinions on an aspect regarding one of the biggest games certainly to drop in the new year, The Last of Us Part 2. How do you feel about the way Naughty Dog has handled the promotion and build-up to this game? For me, I have mixed feelings. I love that they have the confidence they're making a great sequel to one of the most hailed games from last generation, but I also get annoyed with how they've been making very obscure and minimal with what they've shown. They've been very obscure and minimal in what they've shown. I'm sure by the time the game comes out, I'll be thankful they've been so hush-hush, but how would you guys feel about the rest of the big heavy hitters adopting this same strategy?"
I think it's perfect because they let us know that it was really far off. They gave us a tease. They've shown us a brief snippet of gameplay to put the idea and the possibility and the like what the game is going to be. That really sick trailer with Ellie.
I don't think that was even a brief snippet, dude. That was substantial.
Yeah, that was like substantial. But I think now going into 2019, I expect to see a lot more, and I expect to see a release date as well. So I'm cool with it. I think 2018 was the year of like, hey, it's still a really far ways off, but they showed that big clip, which was like way filling to my desire to see the game,
Yeah, after Days Gone's out, you'll probably see more of that game.
Good point, Brad.
Yeah, there you go.
I think the trailer they showed that was basically just a cutscene with those other characters, I think that was a misstep.
That was weak. You're right.
That didn't really come across however they wanted it, because I think it whatever the conjecture was there just wasn't strong enough. There wasn't enough of a pull there to really like, who is this? It almost doesn't seem to matter to that many people. But at the same time, like, I feel like they're not doing something necessarily new with being this big. I feel like it's a lot similar to what they did with God of War. And I think that payoff was great, to go in knowing some of it, but not knowing nearly what was going to get uncovered.
Yeah, they kept the first boss fight a secret of God of War, I think, up until the game's release.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I don't recall a lot of us saying like, now's the time for Last of Us 2 to reveal itself. Like, I think we've all been pretty patient. So whatever they've done, I think has communicated that. So I got to give them credit for that. I just I haven't gotten a sense from us that there's like frustration there. We're just like, what's taking so long?
Like, if we don't see anything, or if there's still no date at the end of 2019, if we go all of 2019 and there's not even a date yet, that would be frustrating. But I fully expect a release window to be shown this year.
My favorite E3 things, and this is why I rated their press conference so highly, is just that clip of like somebody playing a game extensively. And they did that. Like Ghost of Tsushima did the same thing. Like, this is somebody playing the game right now. We're just going to let this breathe. And to me, that's more than anything. That's more than any trailer. It just feels so good to actually watch a game being played.
I think it's foolish to say that like marketing won't influence your opinion on the game, because it does. If you watch it, it will change how you think about something. But for me, I feel like a lot of games that are kind of showing their hand for the first time, like, hey, this is a new world. These are new characters that you've never seen before. I process it a lot more differently, and I think I'm more influenced by how they market it. Whereas Last of Us 2, unless they do something absolutely crazy, I'm going to play that game. Like, there are certain games where I feel like regardless of how they market it, or almost regardless of how they market it, I'm kind of in for, because the previous entries have built up so much goodwill. even if like there's a little bit of hesitation, or I think like, oh, that's strange, or I wish they would have done it this way. Like it just doesn't matter to me so much because I know I'll be there day one, getting the game anyway, and that what will ultimately matter is how the game itself is. So. Like, I also think Huber and Kyle have influenced kind of my media blackout, where it's like if you care about something, try not to go too far with it. You know,
Kingdom Hearts. Don't see a thing.
Exactly.
Blackout all month, baby.
Any other thoughts on The Last of Us, or are we ready to move on?
2019 release date. Let's go.
Next question comes in from Tim. Happy New Year, allies. Describe your worst experience with spoilers.
Haunting of Hill House, the exact episode that something crazy goes down, makes me not want to watch the show.
That's such a shame. It's so good.
Yeah. It's like I know the exact moment. So when I watch it, I'll just be waiting for that episode.
YouTube filters out comments, and I used to like go in and approve them. I think only Bloodworth does that now, but I would like out of curiosity, I would want to see what was filtered out. And a gigantic spoiler for Star Wars Episode 7 was in those comments for some reason. It had been filtered out by YouTube. YouTube filtered out the comment, but then I went ahead and clicked on it anyway. And, you know, it was about how, like, Kylo Ren is Han's son and he kills him. It's like, that I knew that coming into that movie. Somebody just wrote that in the comment on YouTube. So brutal.
Jeez.
Yeah. So now I just let Bloodworth deal with it. I've never clicked since.
I don't know if I've had anything maybe quite that bad, but just recently, I've finished it now. But before I finished Red Dead, I had a pretty important thing spoiled for me, and it made me very sad. And it was kind of like you were describing, Kyle. It seemed like these people were just going in the comments and intentionally trying to spoil it.
Yeah.
To get sort of reaction out of people, or to get attention or whatever, and I caught wind of that, and it sucked.
It hurts.
Huber, would you consider this first season of Life is Strange still spoiler territory? Like, should I be sensitive about at least season 1 of Life is Strange?
I'm going to play it at some point, so I'd
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
sure. There's the old classic, and I don't know if they've cleaned up their act, but it was the old classic. Your friend is streaming spoiler screen on PlayStation 4.
They like cleaned up their act.
When you boot a game up, yeah, it was like back in the day.
Yep.
I was gonna play Life is Strange, and I went boop, 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 over to the game, and like right as it like went into the end, I like looked down, and like it was a character doing something that was unmistakably, and it wasn't like, oh, that's what they're going to do. It was like, how did they get into that condition? What? You know, it was like, oh no. And so now I'm like, all right, waiting for it to happen. And I think it was like 2 chapters away. And then I finally got there. Like, okay, thanks, PlayStation.
An old classic Harry Potter spoiler. That was a meme.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The classic spoiler.
The classic spoiler.
Like the most classic, famous spoiler ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's
on a T-shirt. It's on a T-shirt.
Yeah. You can't top that.
Yeah, you can't do that. Too legendary. Because there's audio of it too.
I just
like
want to hear those
clip of the guy doing
special words.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Thank God somebody spoiled the end of Fantastic Beasts 2 for me. I appreciated that. They're like, are you sure, Jones? I was like, please.
Yeah.
Saved me.
Yeah.
That one worked out.
Our next question comes in from Brad. He says, greetings. Will the new studio act as a suitable rally point for the Easy Ally Zombie Apocalypse contingency plan? How defensible is it? Are there sufficient nearby resources for scavenging? Will everyone's pets get along in those close quarters?
There's one exit, so that's good. You just barricade that door.
Yeah.
A stairwell,
I love that you on top of it.
Yeah, like zombies are going to have a hard time walking up that stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. So we just hang out up there and pick them off one by one. It'd be hard to resupply we would need to go on supply runs. That'd be a little tricky. But I'm
So, yes,
confident
the answer is
that
yes.
We have roof access though, so you could you go to the roof.
dude. Well,
Yeah,
we're
actually,
good.
I think the roof is probably the safest spot.
Yeah.
As long as they don't start tearing the structure apart.
Yeah, we're golden then.
I like that we could broadcast out of there as well.
Mhm.
I just think that like you're not thinking about other humans. A lot of people when we're talking about zombie apocalypse, we don't even think it through. Just like people will come for us. They'll come.
Dude,
they'll know
one
what we
extra,
have.
though. As long as we have eyes on that door, we're good.
Are you gonna pull the trigger on a mom and her daughter?
Dude, I got no quarrel. I got no quarrel.
real.
We don't
Come
have room
on.
for them. We don't have resources for that, dude.
Well,
But
Kyle.
then it's Easy Allies votes, dude. There's 9 of
Yeah.
us. Majority rules.
Oh my god.
I'm keeping them. Come on
Also,
in.
the conditions of this conversation we're having right now are dependent on all of us being at the actual place when the apocalypse goes down. If it goes down and we're separated, like Huber and Ian and I can maybe
not gonna
get
make
there,
it.
but you know,
Yeah.
Ben's not making it.
think-
Damiani's not making it. You're not making it, Kyle. Like,
No.
I think
far.
the apocalypse will happen when we play NAC 3 for the inevitable.
right? Yeah, right.
So we will all be there. And based on what he said in past Q&As, I would be worried about Kyle just shooting us. And I'm only saying this because of what has been said in past Q&As.
I believe I've stated in a past Q&A that I've thought about killing all of you. Like I've thought about that blood match. You know, like if we all
Yeah.
just woke up, like what's the Black Ops? You know, we're just in some arena somewhere.
Maybe it was you, Brandon.
We all have a spear, and good luck.
You walk into the studio and Kyle shoots you in the belly.
Oh my god.
Here's what I'm kind of certain of, like a Mario Party scenario, though, where I think we all 9 of us have spears. I think at least 3 or 4 people are going to go for me first. I don't think I have a high chance of survival in such a scenario.
Yeah.
Coral should be
One of the first to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Just poking Kyle with a spear.
Our next question comes in from Michael. He says, hello, Easy Allies. Ease 9 Monstrum Nox has been announced for Japan release in 2019. Will it be released in Europe or the USA in 2019-2020, or is it Japan only?
How did it do on Switch? Ease 8.
How did we do on
Ease
Switch?
8.
I'm not sure. I hope it did okay. Ease 8 is very good. I don't know. I haven't really been following Ease 9. I'll play it just because I liked Ease 8 so much. But
I don't think
I
there's much
imagine-
to stop them.
Yeah, I think it'll come.
do you think it'll come in 2019 though? The thing that
Oh,
leaves
I don't
me
know about
hesitant
2019.
because there's no hard date in Japan.
Yeah.
And so because there's no hard date in Japan yet, I would err on the side of it coming out in like early 2020
Yeah,
or spring 2020 for us.
2020.
But I don't think it'll be Japan only. I'd be surprised. I don't know if NIS will publish it again. I hope not, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, that's probably not a very satisfying answer, but we don't. I think sometimes people maybe think that we have information. We never have any information, which is disappointing. I wish we did. But
Yeah, we
we
don't
know
know
nothing.
anything.
Damiani's not here.
Yeah. Ask Damiani.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Damiani would know. This is from Liz. This is not a question, but she says, hello and Happy New Year. Happy early birthday to Kyle. Kyle, I didn't know your birthday was coming up. I should, but happy birthday, Kyle.
Jones's is before mine.
Happy birthday, Jones.
Happy birthday, Jones.
Early
And Kyle.
Happy birthday, boys.
Birthday
Liz
boy.
doesn't have a question. She just wishes us all a cozy
Oh.
and lovely January.
Oh, thank you.
It's very
Nice.
nice.
It's gonna be the coziest. Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil.
Dude, it's
So
gonna be
cozy.
don't look at me. I don't know about cozy.
I'm definitely not
this is
watching
from-
any RE2 trailers, Huber. Keep those away. There's no point.
Yeah,
Zero,
don't look at me.
zero
No
point
point.
in
Yeah.
seeing
Totally.
anything.
I feel really bad who's ever cutting those 2 reviews. That would suck.
Don will cut it.
I'll give, yeah.
Don will.
Well, okay, Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts.
there's no
Yeah,
reason to
go
go
for
back.
it.
Don will cut Resident Evil. He won't mind at all.
Yeah, give Kingdom Hearts to Jones.
Yeah. The spite edit. That'll be great.
I trust
next-
Jones.
Somehow
Yeah,
it's
I
all
just-
goofy. It's
Make it magical, yeah.
Our next question comes in from Master Pants. With E3 2019 only around 158 days away, that Makes me very anxious. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Have you any new official 2019 thoughts, takes, predictions, wishes, or hype regarding the event and what could possibly be shown?
I'm nervous.
I'm really
I'm nervous about E3 2019.
Yeah, it's
no
weird.
Sony hurts. It hurts, but what could really make it a memorable one? I'm putting all my eggs in an Xbox One 2. I'm ready.
With
Hope
Halo,
that's-
like
hope
Halo
that's
blowout.
Like, here's the new console, new Halo, 10 minutes of 10-minute gameplay trailer. Boom. That's all I need.
That'd be
Show
cool.
floor, play it.
Yeah.
I hope they announce Crackdown 4 with the announcement of the new Xbox.
And I feel like we're gonna get tricked. I feel like I'm gonna get tricked again. I'm gonna say EA's got to show a new Star Wars game. Square Enix has to show Avengers, and then like another E3 goes by, and neither of those things happen. It's gonna happen again. I'm nervous.
Yeah, like there's no Sony event, right? So it's like, are we even gonna see Shenmue 3? Like, probably not. No Last of Us.
No.
Final Fantasy, would that be at
Square might
Microsoft?
have their thing
Yeah,
again.
if Square does something.
Square did
Okay.
a thing last year.
Yeah, Xbox will do Final Fantasy stuff for sure. They'll do it. And Kingdom Hearts.
Xbox will bring it, dude. I'm ready for them to put put the foot on the pedal. What is it?
Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal. Yeah.
Put their foot on the
Foot on the
pedal.
gas.
Yeah, I mean
They smell blood in the water, right? Like,
they had such a
Sony's
huge
not there.
third-party presence last year. Like
mhm.
just all those trailers back to back to back,
Yeah.
and now they can basically cut anything that would be remotely filler. It's gonna be nuts, that Xbox conference.
Yeah. I agree with the Microsoft sentiment. Not super relevant, but I was thinking about it the other day. I really want them to put Final Fantasy VIII on modern consoles. I'm a little upset that it's not part of that package.
What's the deal?
Apparently, they lost the original code.
Oh God.
And so they rebuilt it for 7, which was worth the effort, but they're not sure they can make their money back on 8.
Sure. I actually did. They lost it?
Yeah. That's
Lost-
the word.
misplaced.
Lost as in they didn't care about archiving back then.
Right. I think that's more right.
Huh. That's
So
interesting.
those assets took up so much hard drive space that it was just like dump them.
Oh, that hurts so bad, dude.
Dump the assets.
9.2, like the original background renders are just all gone. Not all gone. Mama Robotnik found some of them, but like most are just gone.
Mama Robotnik, the legend. Our next question is from Angelo, and I'm very sorry to do this, but after I read the question, I have to use the restroom real quick, so I'll be peacing out for like a minute. But our next question is from Angelo. He says, "I've come to realize that even though I watch what you guys produce very frequently and assiduously, what a word,
Yeah.
I rarely buy games day and date. In fact, I rarely play a game on its year of release. That led me to question why I even follow games media the way I do. But also, and the actual point of my question, what do each of you think is your function in the games industry and to its consumers?"
Oh.
I had a very interesting conversation with Amanda a while back where I think it was like a TED Talk where someone did a test. I, of course, do not remember this test at all, so apologies I can't like convey it to you, but it was like understanding your purpose, understanding like what you want to get out of your career, out of your job, out of your life. And I realized that I want people to enjoy art more. So that's why I get hurt about spoilers. Like, that's why whenever I want to tell someone and someone's like, I don't want to know. And it's like, trust me, I want you to enjoy this. I'm telling you this to get in preparation for this. I'm not telling you this out of satisfaction of me spoiling something for you. I do want to know something. And some people are just like, I don't trust you, Jones. And I'm like, that's fair. I realize like that's where I get a lot of the joy out of my work is trying to like understand something, or like VR, for example. Like there's a lot of people that like I've turned on to VR because I have the VR setup. So we played it last night. We had friends come over for New Year's and like didn't even have it planned, but somebody was like, "Yo, can I play that game again?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." It came out, like re-downloaded the Oculus software, like set all that stuff up. But I take a lot of pride in going to an event or experiencing something and then trying to translate that to someone else and then having that be worthwhile to them in the process of them enjoying the thing that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I think a lot of it for me, I mean, it kind of echoes that, but at the same time, like when I make a review, you know, not that it could ever be like completely impartial, but I want it to be something to where I've got enough of a foundation there that like you can watch that and like you can have a very clear picture of like what this game is, to the point to where whether you agree with me or not, like you can figure out like whether like that's going to be something like you're really going to be into, like whether that's the game for you or not. So that the information is there enough. So there's like, okay, if this bugs you, then okay, then it's out. And if this is the kind of things that you're really into, you're going to really enjoy it. Almost like a time capsule, I think, is in a way.
When I think back to the 1UP show, there's a website, 1up.com, that was mostly people from Electronic Gaming Monthly. And like why it was revelatory to me is that it was online videos that lacked condescension, right? Like it was like everybody on the same level. We love games as much as you do. And I think that's kind of where we are, is I think that a lot of the stuff we make doesn't have that condescending attitude of like, hey kids, you know what I mean? And so I think that might be our role, is like just like a lot of people don't, you're not abnormal for not buying games day one. Most people don't, I think, if we look at like raw statistics or whatever. And so like for a time for myself, that is how I like learned about new games, was watching the reviews on game trailers, but also watching 1UP show, listen to podcasts, listen to people talk about them. And so I like that we can be a similar outlet for people.
Kyle, I agree with you so much, man. And just to echo that, I think things are a lot different now, but growing up, games were always something that was kind of looked down upon by friends that I had, by my own family. And so it was always something where it's like, yeah, you can do this, but like, don't do it for too long. And like, you know, it can't be like your number one passion or whatever. It was like this thing that you liked that was like a fun little frivolous hobby. And I remember getting PSM and getting like Computer Gaming World, but really it was like Greg Kasavin and video reviews at GameSpot, where I was like, this dude loves games just as much as I do. And it just meant so much to me that somebody was out there expressing that and being so knowledgeable about being so passionate. It's like, oh no, okay, like this isn't something to hide or be ashamed of. Like this is something you can take a lot of pride in, and everything that you think is cool about it, these people think is cool too, and they can tell you things about what you love in ways that you would never even think of. And it just like it honestly changed my life in a way that I'll always be grateful for. And yeah, I hope that we do that for people. I think it's a little bit harder now because there are so many more voices and so many more people are, I guess, qualified than us. But like, I hope that enthusiasm at least comes through.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys said it. Just want to be trusted.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because, like, you know, the way that, like, Hubert talks about games with Easy Allies on video, the way Kyle talks about the games, or Brandon or Blood, like, all of you guys, all of us talk about games in the exact same way when the cameras are off. We almost have, like, identical conversations. There's really no...
It's a good point,
difference.
Ben.
We might as well just record everything because it's the same.
Yeah.
Though I have heard Hubert trash on games off camera more than he'd be willing to on camera.
With it's because of the F-bombs.
Yeah,
it's because I threw a couple F-bombs, so it's a little more intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my comments might be a little more intense.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Kyle. I do think sometimes we use each other to vent a little bit. And maybe the reason we don't do it publicly is because it's like, okay, well, we need to play more of this. But right now, it's really pissing me off. I wish I could show our audience Hubert playing Bombshell at his desk. It was like,
I've never felt worse as a boss that whole time, man.
God,
I don't think I've ever
dude.
seen Huber that angry at anything. It was amazing.
I guarantee it wasn't as bad as Fallout 76, though, man.
Well, it wasn't as long, that's for sure.
Yeah.
God.
Poor Blood. Blood took the brunt of my venting. I would just like send him stuff or like a screenshot. I'd be like, Blood, this is what's happening. All right. Our next question comes in from Varun. He says, "Hi, allies. Hope you enjoyed your holidays with some good company and great food. I loved the first episode of Life is Strange 2. I loved the improvements it made, from multitasking to the way choices are implemented. It really made me connect to these characters and their plights. I couldn't wait for episode 2. And then I waited and waited for some more for word on the release date. And then finally they released the date, the 24th of January. A 3-month break after only the first episode is much too long and has really harmed the discussion surrounding the game. I understand that buying these episodic games usually means waiting for the next one, but I usually love the discussions and the guessing games that happen. But there are no discussions because there isn't much to discuss. Do you think that game has shot itself in the foot here in regards to hype and discussion with the timing and the length of this break? Also a quick question, if you don't mind, but Huber, January is a busy time with Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3. Will you still be able to do the spoiler mode for this episode?"
100%. Just because it's an episode, it'll be a couple hours. That's a one sitting type thing, you know. It has been too long. I believe it's been 4 months actually. It came out in September, right? Episode 1. 4 months is way too long. It has been it's been way too long. But they came out and they said that the ambition exceeded what they originally intended. And after finishing episode 1, like, I get it. I can see it. I can see episode 2 just being huge. So because they came out and they said, hey, look, you know, it's taking longer than expected, and they've acknowledged it. They said it's way more ambitious than episode 1 and even Life is Strange 1. So I'm okay with waiting. I don't think they've shot themselves in the foot, but a 4-month break is too long, and it definitely has hurt the momentum and my hype a little bit.
Yeah, I think episodic is really weird to me to figure out exactly how to pace it out and how to time it out. Like, unless they really just finished everything off the bat and then released everything like once every 2 weeks or something. I don't really know the best way for them to go about it. Because for what I actually do, like, enjoy going through the games that way. Like, I enjoy like being able to sit down for a night or two and get everything out of that experience and then be ready to hop into the next one, but not have to commit a full, 20 hours or whatever. But I do feel like anytime a game's episodic, it's like people tend to talk about it when the first episode comes out, and then after that, it just kind of dies off and further as it goes along when the less people are talking.
Yeah, but episode 2 will come out, and this cycle will start anew. So I think it's frustrating waiting this long, but I will forget that frustration as soon as I boot it up again and I get to go back in and continue the journey. So pumped! Oh my god, dude! In 2 weeks, nice. In 2 days, in 2 weeks, it's Walking Dead episode 3. That's coming out this month too.
Yeah, crazy.
Huber, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing that you're not going to sleep for half a month? Are you cool with that?
I am way cool with that.
I thought
I keep prepping the Easy Allies Twitch, dude. I hope they like Resident Evil 2, because that's all they're
You're gonna get a lot of it.
I'm sure it'll be just fine.
Full playthroughs by everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
That would actually be really cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Our next question comes in from Varun. Hope you enjoyed your holidays, allies, with some good company and great. Oh, no.
Last one was for him.
Sorry, I messed that up. I think it was a double post and it had different formatting.
Okay.
But people are just trying to make sure the comment doesn't get eaten, which is understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes in from Ulf. He says, "Hello, allies. Now that Joker is confirmed for Smash, it seems like anything is possible.
Goku.
What 4 of the characters do you think will make it in? My picks are Kiryu, Dante, Hunter from Monster Hunter, and Solaire.
Kazuma makes so much sense. Kazuma shows up, dude. Which Kazuma, though? Yakuza 0, Yakuza 1, Yakuza 6.
Probably
It's all of them, baby. You just got the
skins.
different costumes, yeah.
Okay.
anyone with the jacket off, though.
Can you imagine Majima as an assist trophy? Just comes out with his knife.
And you just hear the laugh. You hear the laugh before he shows up on the screen.
Idiot Chad.
Yes.
Stabs someone.
Mr. Shakedown.
That's his final smash.
If there's
Heat actions.
If there is a Mr. Shakedown assist trophy in Smash, I will demand that it will be our 2019 game of the year.
Yeah.
If Mr. Shakedown is represented in any way.
I agree.
I'm 91% certain that the minions are going to be a character, and it's 3 minions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's happening.
Sakurai is a big fan. That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
If there's ever been a time for anything in the video game industry, it's time for Sora to be in Smash.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like,
No brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The time is now.
You're just being salty if you're not putting them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be realistic. Like, no memes, just throw them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not a joke. We're not joking around here.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be like one super weird one. Like I think Sakurai is just going to put like a Famicom in Smash or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, the consoles themselves would be such great Smash characters. Oh my! Can you imagine just
like
being a GameCube? Just like you got the controllers, you know.
And you just like somebody picks up the handle and can just beat somebody with it.
That's the grab. Yeah, when you grab the GameCube.
Or like characters come out of the system.
Oh, Hubert, that's such a good idea.
Sometimes something like an NC Dark pops up and it's like pop, pop, pop.
That's kind of like Pac-Man and Duck Hunt Dog, in a way.
I wonder if Ryu from Ninja Gaiden would make it.
I'd be down for Ryu.
Cool.
Like, I think like Lady Gaga has a chance.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
If Joker's what they start with, you got to think they're escalating each time. So by the time we get to number 5, like Lady Gaga is all I can think of, and I think she'd be a good Smash character as a thing.
I'm worried that someday, maybe not now, maybe not for a long time, but someday, a Smash character reveal will cause a catastrophic real-world event, and like. Kids will learn that the day Lady Gaga was announced, something terrible happened.
Well, like it's Muhammad. They just like Muhammad joins Smash.
That would be, that would do it. That would do it.
Muhammad joins Smash.
And you never hear from Sakurai ever again.
That's just it, dude.
That was his escape plan, dude.
All right. I don't think we can top that.
No.
Next question is from Beetlehorn. Greetings, allies. I hope you all had a great holiday. First time writing in, and I've loved your content since the GT days. Happy to be a patron now. One question I've always wondered is, what made you all settle on Easy Allies? The name Easy Allies. Great question. And moreover, I've always wondered if you could share any other names you had kicking around as potential candidates before settling Easy Allies. Thanks, and I hope Patron doesn't guzzlord my question.
Great verb.
Who was throwing? Because I know we had the YouTube channel grabbed already. Who was throwing around Easy Alliance right away at the before we even met?
Yeah, not me.
It was
Might have been Ian.
Yeah.
I used to say Uneasy Alliance. I mean, I still do.
Yeah.
Uneasy Alliance is one of my
We
favorite
were thinking about that, I think, but we wanted it more jolly.
Ian was the one that brought it up at the meeting because when I said what should we do for a title, Ian was the first person to speak, and he says, "Oh, we got to figure it out. It's Easy Alliance." I was like, "Where?" Yeah. And I think it was the same day that either Ian or Kyle and Amanda both suggested Easy Allies because we couldn't get the. I was up in San Francisco and we were like trying to get all the URLs.
Yeah, that was what it came down to. It's just getting the URLs for everything.
And Easy Allies was available.
Being available goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I remember pitching Love and Respect really hard.
Just for our
I don't remember
name.
that.
Yep.
That'd be good.
That would be kind of weird as a name.
Yeah, it turns out to be really dumb for a name, but I really wanted it.
I don't feel like we had this huge list of potential names.
Not at all.
That's true.
So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it's a very interesting answer to the question. But yeah, I think it was destiny that it was a hubrism. Like it would have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on improv teams that spent more time thinking of our name.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that this business, like, we've kind of all settled on the name pretty quickly. But yeah, like, it was not like a band list where it's like, I have 50 cool ideas. Let's go through them. It's
Because
kinda
it's funny, Kyle. Something I think about a lot is the two biggest regrets that I have from game trailers are didn't start a podcast earlier and didn't figure out another name, because like you were saying, EGM and 1UP and so game trailers could be an aggregate website, and then if we want to produce any reviews or anything else, that goes under another name, and I have no idea what the heck that would be called. Just names are so tough. So yeah, that worked out.
Well, yeah, what's funny to me too is similar to game trailers. I don't know if you've seen like these ads for Overstock where they're like apologizing for their name or like trying to like, it's hilarious. It's like when you think about overstock.com, you might think about Overstock Goods and like, yeah, that's because that's your name.
Yeah,
but it's not actually what we do. I'm like, what are you
That's so
talking
funny.
about right now? How do you have ad campaigns doing this?
Yeah. The edginess of Overstock. That's funny.
Every once in a while, when I come home, like random people will be like, "Oh, you're doing this thing. How did it start?" And I always feel like there's some truth in the answer of like it kind of just happened. Like obviously we worked and we met and we got things together, but there does seem to be sort of this like weird explosion. Like it all happened so quickly at a level that we weren't expecting. That I don't know. It's some sort of weird moment that,
and it felt like
got
forever
really
for us.
lucky.
That month
Yeah.
took forever.
Yeah, well, I remember being at GDC that year, and it was so funny because at the one hand, we were getting ready to reveal what we were doing, and on the other hand, so I was like teasing people what we were doing. At the same time, I was looking for job opportunities because we just didn't think that this was going to be our job.
Right. Yeah. Very true.
So thank you, patrons.
Yeah. Thank you, Patron.
Thank you, patrons.
Next question comes in from Shadow. Happy New Year, allies. First, I just want to express my appreciation for Huber's recent syndrome with Kyle and the deep conversation about life. Constantly thinking that way, and it's why I love the escape that video games can provide. My question today revolves around that. What video game worlds and settings just make you happy to be in and explore and keep you coming back? Perhaps you would use the word jolly to describe them. My picks would be the entire world of Final Fantasy XIV and the Japanese streets of Shenmue 1. They're quite different, but I love Final Fantasy XIV for the variety of fantastical locations and characters, as well as the amount of lore to dive into, and Shenmue, especially as you approach Christmas in-game, has such a wonderful vibe that makes me just want to wander around and soak it all in. What are yours?
I love that GTA snows over the holidays. So like I only played GTA Online for like 30 minutes, but I'm like, I just got to log in. It's just fun to log in and hop on a motorcycle, drive around in the snow. And Red Dead, of course. Just any view in Red Dead just warms my heart.
Resident Evil, obviously.
Yeah, I think Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild both nailed that sense of just anytime I turn it on and just want to see like what's over that next hill, not because there's a quest or something there, but just because I'm just interested in how this world looks and feels.
Dragon Quest
Which one?
Oh,
8 and 11.
11.
Nice.
The campfires in 11.
I don't like Harry Potter too much, but I love Hogwarts.
Sure.
Nice.
Hogwarts games, those are good games.
I would never say like streaming is uncomfortable for me, but like every once in a while, I still think streaming can be a little bit stressful because it's just like, oh, you're in front of an audience. You want to make sure that you're paying attention and playing well enough that it's entertaining for people. So it's like a little bit. There's a little bit of anxiety there. I mean, it's definitely gone down over time. But the only games that I stream that I would say just legitimately relax me are Monster Hunter games. I don't know why, because they can be quite difficult. But there's just something about getting into that rhythm that I really like. And Final Fantasy IX is the most comfortable world ever.
Good pick.
Many of those locations. It's not just one area, but Final Fantasy IX for sure.
As far as streaming goes, turn-based RPGs are easily my favorite, just because I feel like the nature of being turn-based just gives me that space to breathe, to be able to keep up with what chat's doing and play the game.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Any other picks?
All Arkham games.
Any Zelda game, pretty much. 100% cozy. Some of the towns in Kingdom Hearts are really cozy to me, like Traverse Town and Twilight Town. Super cozy.
Twilight Town.
Yeah.
The Traverse Town music, I think, really helps a lot with that.
Absolutely.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, yep.
Sure. 2019 is the year of dreams, man.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Kingdom Hearts 3.
And you're all caught up, Huber.
Can't believe it's real, dude. It's nuts.
I wonder if Nintendo will do a big Animal Crossing thing for the E3 booth. It'd be pretty rad if there was like a Roost Cafe with like Toda Keke up on a stage playing acoustic guitar.
Don't even get this in my head, Bloodworth. Don't even say this to me right now. I will be disappointed if that's not there.
Our next question comes in from Shadow2222. Happy New Year, allies. First, I just want to express my... Oh, no. That's the second time I've done that. My bad. The next question actually comes from Isaiah. Hello, allies. I just wanted to know, now that you have a studio, will things like group streams on Tuesdays or podcast dates change permanently, or will most things stay the same? I wish you all the best. Love and respect. Yes, next Retro Dragon Quest.
Oh,
I understand. Okay, I thought he was asking. Okay, will the next Retro be on Dragon Quest? No.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, we have talked about it.
I don't think that we're at a place yet where we're ready to reconfigure the schedule. I think once we get in there and we get a feel of what the space is like, then things will likely shift around, but we kind of have to do one thing before the next.
Yeah.
I will say that I have a high interest in mixing those things around.
Yeah. There's still, though, I think there's a certain flow that just works out when everyone comes there on the same day. So it's studios in some ways isn't going to change that too much, but it will allow us to do other things differently. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that we can do.
Yeah, I think we still have to get a vibe of how much we enjoy being there, how long we're going to want to be there when we're there, how hard it is for people to travel there and work there for a set amount of time and then go home. And I just think that we just got to get used to that vibe and that interest, and then we can start gauging based on if people are showing up less to the office or more, what they're going to be available to do. And yeah, it's interesting. We all kind of agreed on Tuesdays. That was just like a weird. That was such a gift, I think, that like Tuesday. No, just lock it in. That like most of us, have just every Tuesday night of our 2018, 2017, 2016 was here hanging, shooting podcasts and stuff. And so it'd be interesting to see if maybe in 2019 like another day or evening or time emerges as a good time to get a bunch of stuff done.
Okay.
Gotta build it.
TBD. Next question comes in from Ace Jackson. Best out-of-body experience and or existential crises, and how often do you think about our human experience and existence? My best one was when I took some dishes to the sink without really thinking about it, and as I was in the kitchen, my perspective changed and I was watching myself do the menial chore from the third person.
Nice.
Thought about how weird and boring life is at times, made a joke of it later, saying I accidentally clicked R3 on my DualShock to switch camera perspective. Happy New Year, and especially love and respect.
I think about human existence all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Somebody talked about the galaxy one time where they were like, what if the galaxy is it actually an optical illusion that like there is no, like you look at it and you're like, oh, it just goes on forever. Like what if it doesn't? What if you just kind of do a U-turn and then whoop, you're back in our galaxy again? And I was like, oh, I hope it goes on forever, but who knows? And certainly us in our lifetimes will never find an answer to that question. So it's crazy. There's so many answers, way more questions still left as far as understanding existence than answers that we already have.
I wanted to see the, I don't know if there's any photos yet or if that's going to be tomorrow, but the New Horizons probe just passed by, did a flyby of like the farthest thing that we've ever looked at. And it's like, it's also the biggest gap between something we know nothing about until, and now once these photos come in, we're going to know all kinds of stuff about it. So we don't even know if it's like one object or two.
So cool.
Just out there in the Kuiper Belt.
And it's neat because for us, that's like a cool anecdote that we'll probably forget about an hour later. But for like the people involved, that's their whole life. You know, this getting this answer to this.
Yeah, years and years. Yeah.
It's neat. I saw someone, there was a photograph, I can't remember, from the moon of Earth. That it kind of, Earth looked the way the moon usually looks to us. I can't remember. It's like a really famous photograph. And I think it was Bill Nye tweeted, and he said, well, the first time I saw this photograph, I was just beginning to understand the science of how that trip was possible. And he's like, I remember that being a very important age of my life, of me like beginning that quest for knowledge. I wish I had an out-of-body experience story.
Playing Knack 2 with you guys was kind of like that.
Right?
I feel like I honestly, like, I know it's a meme, but I honestly felt like myself going insane. And I just like, I couldn't believe how long it was. Just a weird moment.
It was really long.
Any other?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
Like Kyle and I talked about on Syndrome. I just think about life all the time. But I like to play video games, so I get lost in those worlds. I haven't really had any out-of-body experiences. When I used to drive my car really fast, I did.
Sure.
Damn.
Sounds like a bad time.
Yep.
I want to make a game about your drag racing days. I think that'd be a good game.
Yeah, Huber, I got in a really severe car accident one time, Huber, and my car spun around 180 on a freeway, and I was grinding along the edge of the freeway backwards. So I'm staring at the 405 going the opposite direction. And the car's grinding like up alongside. And I'm telling you, man, I had the thought of like, this is a well-made car. Like I was able to just to kind of separate from what was actually going on and really cut. And I bet you it was because I played so many video games. And like, this is not my first car flip. This is my first time, or not car flip, but like, this is not my first quote unquote hardcore accident. I've been in that many times. And I remember being like, there's a good frame to it. You know, like I really feel what this car's made of right now. Yeah, that was definitely out of body for sure.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is so intense.
Walked away, no injuries, totally fine.
Thank God, dude. It's hardcore.
Yeah.
Next question comes in from Tuttle. Greetings, allies. With the studio move-in looming, what will be the biggest time saver for each of you once you're established?
Oh, not setting up mic cables. Oh, my God.
Not moving a desk or a couch.
Again.
Yeah, that will save a lot of time.
Sophie wastes a lot of our time, so I'm really happy we're
No,
doing Sophie.
yeah.
Kyle, stop it.
The deepest cut.
I think for me personally, there's just like different things where it's like, okay, I have to go to Brandon's to do this part of the thing, and then I have to go home to do this other part of the thing. And just being able to do everything there all at once, or like schedule things with other people a little bit more easy. I feel like we're just going to be able to get more things done and drive less, which is just ultimately better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that, I imagine, for viewers is behind the scenes, but one big one that you'll hopefully notice is right now our control room desk and our streaming television are right next to each other, where they're going to be in completely separate rooms moving forward. And we're going to place the streaming television in the middle of the room. So while it'll look like it's maybe back up against a wall, there's gonna be a lot of space behind it, so that if we need to console swap or we need to change cables or something's not working, you won't see like someone's head down below the camera, like as they're doing it. Like all of that can happen behind, so that like if we're playing something and we know GameCube's next, like I can just leave and go get that set up and then plug that into the next thing and test maybe on a second monitor, and yep, it works. Okay, great. And so we're like, this game was fun. Are we ready for that game? And then you just boop, press a button, and then go right into it. And there's not this like lull. Like easy living, it'll always be there because we'll be in someone else's house. But being able to just stand behind the television in the streaming room is going to be jolly. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I think as Ben was alluding to, with that little side, that office in between, like Ben or Huber can just go in there, or not Ben or Huber, but Ben or Don could go in there and cut stuff while we're still doing other things, and then jump back in to whatever we're doing afterwards while it's exporting or rendering or whatever.
And that's great for me because I want to cut a lot more. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. You don't want to set expectations too high, but I want to cut more things in 2019. And just having a studio, like having this spot where I can do that, is going to make that. So yeah, I'm excited. This question really got me excited. Like now I'm ready to just get in there. All right. Next one comes in from Raymond. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Tea's nice.
Coffee
is nice.
Oh man, I really like tea a lot, but I guess I have coffee every day, where I don't always have tea every day, but I have a lot of tea.
Yeah, I definitely go back and forth, but probably coffee more often.
Yeah. All right.
Coffee's probably my favorite chocolate something, because like I'm not a big fan of chocolate cake or like chocolate bars or like even though something like a Snickers I've kind of like grown out of, but like a mocha, like a good chocolatey coffee, like I savor that. Whereas like that's thing Amanda will never understand, because Amanda loves chocolate so much, and I'm just kind of like chocolate mousse or like like whenever they bring desserts by at the restaurant, I'm like, none of that. I don't know. Like, give me some pixie sticks or like some Bubblicious or something, but none of this like cheesecake with the raspberry drizzle. Get out of here.
Hey, that's something we need to figure out for the new studio. I want a coffee maker in a prime location.
Absolutely.
In the green room, yeah.
No Keurig.
Yeah. My old one's in there now, Ben, so that'll service us for the time being. But yeah, I want to get like a nice,
nice coffee pot.
Would you like an espresso?
Just make sure to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that will be one of your jobs. I can't wait.
That thing will be filthy. Count on it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to start handing out jobs for the studio. It's gonna be good.
Jeffrey asks, "What are your New Year's resolutions for 2019?"
I think we kind of had a
similar question.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have another answer. Does anybody else have any like other things they'd want to tack onto that?
I want to tweet more this year. A lot more.
Yeah, I want to tweet a lot less. I have the exact opposite resolution.
Kyle, feel free to tweet from the Easy Allies account anytime.
You tweet from the heart, Ben, and I appreciate it.
Blood, you're not going to like my tweets, dude. They're going to be off-brand.
Not EZA approved.
Yeah.
I remember there was one point in Game Trailers where I just like totally just like do it. Just go nuts on Twitter.
Yeah. She wrote good tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elise was the best. Yeah. That kind of. She was also way more conscious of it than we were.
Yeah.
But I thank you so much, Blood, for doing it for like the group streams and stuff, because the rest of us would forget and do forget every week.
I still forget like 30% of the time.
We forget 100% of the time. So Next question comes in from Straw Hat Ninja. Greetings, allies. 2018 was another great year for video games. There were too many games to play, as usual, so I ended up not being able to play all the ones I wanted to play this year. My biggest regret is not being able to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I will remedy that in 2019. What is the one big game each of you regret not being able to play or put more time into this year? Thank you for an amazing year, and here's to another great year in 2019.
Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World was all or nothing for me, and I was just nothing. I mean, I played a little bit of it, but I thought about that over the break. I was like, wow, yeah, I really actively pushed that game away. I was like, I can't, because that speaks to me on so many different levels, and that's like full on diving straight into the deep end or get it away from me. But there's no middle ground.
Dragon Quest 11, easily.
Oh.
Same stuff, Jones. It's all or nothing, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bunch of games. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, I have a bunch.
I wanted to play the Xenoblade DLC, but I never got to that.
It's good.
That's
It's
like
actually not
30
that long.
hours. Is it not that long?
No, I feel like I did it in like slightly under 20 or something.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember. That could be wrong, but I feel like it didn't. I was surprised at how quickly it went.
Good.
Into the Breach, Celeste, Frostpunk, Obra Dinn, Missing, Mega Man
Yeah, I need to play Obra
11, Banner Saga 3, Pillars of Eternity 2. More? Probably more.
That's just off the dome, huh?
Yeah.
Did you have a list, or is that off the dome?
Both.
Oh, okay.
I've been
the
like,
list.
syndrome prepping.
Got it.
Yeah. Dragon Quest is easily my biggest one. I really thought that when that and Spider-Man came out, actually, yeah, I went to the store and like grabbed copies of both like right away. Dragon Quest is still sitting here in shrink wrap. But I thought I would just pound through Tomb Raider and Spider-Man and dive into Dragon Quest, and everything else going on just kept me from doing that.
Sure.
I thought I'd still be playing Dragon Quest, and it was just too good.
One of the biggest games that I've been picking away at and playing over break is Valkyria Chronicles 4. And I think I'll be able to finish it before I come back. I hope I will. And I'm mad that I didn't play it sooner, because I love it. I love it just as much, if not slightly more, than I love Valkyria Chronicles 1. And I'm mad I didn't get to it sooner, because it's definitely one of my favorites of this year.
Yeah,
I really
very good.
But there are other ones. I would say like the next big block that I feel bad about are Yakuza games. Yakuza 6, because I want to get through Yakuza 5 first. Yakuza Kiwami 2, which I'm hoping to quickly get through before Game of the Year. We'll have to see. And finishing Fist of the North Star, which I would also like to do.
Oh, I wanted to play Forza also this year. I never got around to it.
Yeah.
It looked awesome.
Yeah. There's a bunch of others that like I'd love to get to, but I think that selection is the ones I'm most passionate about. Yeah. Anyone else? Or did we get everybody? We might have got everybody. All right. Next question comes in from Ibrahim Sozer. Hi, allies. Going off a similar question to the month prior, will we get any of these Microsoft games coming back as a sequel or remake for the next Xbox? Rise, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Sunset Overdrive, Alan Wake, Quantum Break, or Kinect?
Rise, no.
Yeah, I think Banjo-Kazooie seems like the most likely at all that
Perfect
list.
Dark as well. Perfect Dark.
Wow.
I
Bold.
think Perfect Dark, yeah. I don't think Alan Wake or Quantum Break.
No.
No.
Sunset Overdrive, they were doing Spider-Man like at least 2 more games.
Forever, yeah. Forever now. See you later, Ratchet and Clank.
I think it might be hard to bring back the Kinect. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it would
Yeah, I
be
think
weird.
Kinect's dead unless they do somehow do a turnaround and go VR with it. But
I mean, I feel like we're super close to it. Just not even like on game consoles, but just the way that our digital assistants are growing and becoming more popular year by year. People are going to have cameras super soon that sense where they are in every single room and what they're doing. So I think it'll be obvious to have Kinect in 10 years.
It'll be like Apple's Connect or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be Microsoft or Google Connect.
What I keep saying and thinking, I talked about this over the break, is the next version of Alexa will be listening to everything. I mean, they are now, but like you don't have to say, hey, search for, it's going to search, if it's just going to listen to you talk, and it's just going to be searching constantly. So when you press the button or you recognize it, it's like, here's the answer. And you're like, oh, cool, thanks. You know, it's like, I was listening to your conversation and I had a whole list ready to go of like all the pertinent information. So I'm ready for that. That sounds awesome.
Close. She still goes, I don't know that a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
and obviously get more creative.
Too freaky to me. So I think there's going to be a big divide between those of you like that want that and people like, it's like, I'm never going to have a use for it. So
it's inevitable, blood.
I mean, I don't use Alexa. The only thing I use that for is a shopping list. It's nice to just like, if your hands are dirty and you're like, I need paper towels.
I don't even use Siri on my phone. I was like, once in a while I'll push that button too hard. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah. But it'll get there.
Our next question comes in from Simon. He has a philosophical question.
Nice.
What is the point in leveling up if your foes level up with you?
Discuss. I hate that.
Me too.
I hate that so much.
Me too.
Odyssey does it. It drives me nuts.
I know. Me too.
So then the point is pure, raw, Huber-esque dopamine. It's just seeing your numbers go up. They want to keep the challenge the same, but the point of leveling up is just to see numbers go up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because they don't want to put the work into having the world challenge you in a different way. If it just goes up with you, there's a boar in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I'm like, I've gone back to fight 5 times and I get wasted every time.
I know that boar. That's a tough boar.
I know that fight too. It took forever. It was like legit 10 minutes.
And it's 4 little boar friends like come running in. I'm like, what the hell? And you get down to 50%, 4 more boar friends. I'm just like, forget this.
Overpower attack and the healing, like heal yourself.
Yeah.
Is overpower the one that like stuns the people near you?
It's the one where you like max out your rage gauge or whatever, and then you do like a finishing move.
Oh, cool.
R1, R2.
So when you come back to the boar, he's leveled up too?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's always 2 levels behind you.
Come on, man.
That's the lowest anything gets.
Yeah, this is one of those ridiculous video game things. I mean, you dig a hole and done. You've got the boar.
Right. Oh yeah, it falls in the hole and then you're done. Yeah. Right. Or I climb a rock and shoot it with an arrow, but the game is like you're out of the combat zone, so this boar miraculously gets all its health back, and so logic isn't there. We're not talking about logic here.
You want to kill a boar?
Philosophy.
Just dig a hole. What are you thinking? Just dig a hole.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the mystery of Bloodworth, or those statements.
Yes.
That you're like, Bloodworth has killed a boar.
Has he done this?
Well, my brother shot a boar.
Somewhere in the world is a boar grave that only Blood knows about.
Take him to the woods.
Oh my god.
I will say, like, I'm not actually caught a boar myself, but they are pretty freaky when you come home from school and there's boars running around and like, all right, let me get inside now.
Florida, man, that's so weird.
Boars will kill.
Boar wars.
Next question comes in from XWF Outlaw. Hello, allies. I would like your advice on an issue I've been having more frequently than in the past. I have followed EZA since near its inception and have visited you guys for both of your EZA anniversary concerts and meetups. All the allies have this sort of unabashful jolliness and kindness that never comes off as insincere or fake. A ray of light that in an industry that seems to be going the way of the dark side has thrived on your brand of positivity. Hence the phrase limited respect. However, this has led me to ask my question for this month. How is it that you can stay so positive every day? I work in the service industry, and this past month was Black Friday, the largest consumer weekend of the year. Also, crowds of angry, rude, and irritated customers wreak havoc on storefronts, and for most people, including myself, negative vibes are constant throughout. My question is, how do you deal with the negative or mean-spirited people that you have had personal or business relationship with, current or at GT? It has been hard for me to still think that there are other like-minded individuals outside of EZA in your community who are good people and still see the good in people, but my faith is wavering. Sorry if I'm a downer, Hope you've all had a joyous holiday. Never change. Easy allies. See you all again in March. Love and respect.
Do you ever get like so mad at a game that you have to like punch something? Like, do you ever like punch a pillow? Just like,
Yeah, dude. I punched some
and
pillows.
like, and you know, like as the fist is going toward the pillow, you're like, what am I doing? You're like, this isn't gonna solve anything. This isn't gonna make me bet, but you have to do it. And to me, that's like getting angry at people that you know you can't change their mind. It's like, do yourself a favor, and this is easier said than done. Like, you need to be nice to that person as a compliment to yourself. Like I'm like, if I get angry with this person, or if I get negative with this person, like they, that could even put me in a situation where I feel bad walking out of this encounter and they feel better, because they're like more confident about their response. It's kind of how I feel about social media. It's like I see a lot of people get reactionary and defensive, and then they just get in these arguments. It's just like, this can't be the best feeling. Like, I'm not talking about morality or being your best person. Like, there's got to be a way to get to feel better stepping away from the situation. So a lot of times I'll just do it selfishly. I'll just be like, ooh, I have a good comeback there, but it's just I'm going to have to then deal with the repercussions of that comeback. And I don't have the energy. That's my hot take.
And like, so I feel like you got this job where you deal with bad people all day. Like, I don't put a lot of effort in finding the good in people. I also agree with you, XWF Outlaw. I think that humans are, for the most part, just bad, just like bad animals. And so like, what I'm able to do is like check out of humanity from time to time. When I have to work at a job, I'm able to just like video game it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm checked out of my own consciousness here. I'm like above it. You know what I mean? I remember like one time I worked in a kitchen in college, and I love this memory. I was the dishwasher, and I dropped a plate and it broke. And everyone's like, oh, he broke it. And I like pretended to be embarrassed, but like I loved breaking that plate. It felt so good. But like, I wasn't myself with this group. You know what I mean? I wasn't being me. I was just being like this dishwasher version of me. And so I think as long as you have an outlet at the end of the day, that's what helps. And whenever I do not have a creative outlet, whenever I'm stifled that way, it does drive me mad. But as long as you find a time when you can be yourself, I think humanity is easy to deal with.
I asked a therapist this one time, and they said, because I was getting stressed at like Defy meetings and game trailers meetings, when I was being asked like questions I didn't know the answers to and stuff. And I'm just like, if I'm just sitting there and I'm feeling anxiety, like, what do I do? And I've tried this and it doesn't really work, but it might work for other people. But just like find an object and just drill into it. Just like if someone's yelling at you and she's got crazy earrings, just where'd she buy those earrings? How much were they? Who made them? How many other copies of that earring are there? How long is she going to wear those earrings? Like just start like, like just kind of spread your wings and take your brain wherever, somewhere else. It doesn't have to be interesting or, but just, yeah. It's hard for me to do because I can do that very quickly, and then I'm like 5 seconds later I'm back. I'm like, damn it. But
I'm just always thinking about the next game because there's always something.
What a luxury!
To look forward to. There's always something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Huber, even when you're a waiter, even when you're dealing with the people who want ranch.
Yep, and it's like, all right, just gotta make $60 tonight. Buy that game.
Mm-hmm.
Get that game, $60. Boom, got the next one.
I mean, for me, it's interesting because it's like a lot of it's kind of second nature to me because like I grew up in an alcoholic home and went to a lot of like those kinds of meetings and sessions and stuff as a kid, like just Alateen and Al-Anon stuff. And so that was kind of part of my education growing up is like all of these kinds of things and just like silly, almost silly little slogans because you hear them so much they sound like cliche, but like certain things like how important is it like goes a long way, and you see people getting crazy upset about like their coffee taking too long. You just realize it's like, this is not worth getting upset over, and but yeah, and I think I think, like a lot of times, just in contrast to what Kyle said, I think, yeah, seeing the best in people, giving people the benefit of the doubt, and just like trying to work with people where they're at and realize that you don't control them. It goes a long way.
Negativity can definitely put me in pretty bad spells where it affects me quite a bit, and sometimes I'm always shocked. Both sometimes I think within our community and outside of our community, just how vicious people can be. I don't understand it over the dumbest things, like not even something that matters. Like people can just be really hostile toward each other, and it can put me in a pretty bad mood. But I think two things have really helped me recently, and that is that you have to keep in mind that people don't really know you, and you shouldn't make things personal that are inherently impersonal. You know, they might know your online self or things that you've published or whatever, but they really don't know the full you. And so whoever is condemning you, you know, keep in mind that they're only condemning this version of you that they see, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They're entitled to that opinion, but that doesn't mean that it inherently invalidates you. The other thing is that I think the world is too connected. I think it's unhealthy to be interacting with thousands and thousands and thousands of people anonymously all the time, every day. I don't think that's good. I think that's too much. I think you need to step away. I think you need to, you know, try to find some peace of mind and form your own opinions and not just be constantly under assault by this thing sucking or that thing sucking or this thing being great or that thing being great. You just need some time to yourself to kind of like form who you are. And I don't know. I think stepping away is often the best medicine.
I also have recently discovered mantras. I mean, like, you probably know the definition of the word, and mantras sound so stupid. Like when I first heard it, I was like, mantra. I'm not, no. Like, and literally meaning like, you know, going off of what you just said, Ben, like I should, communicating with this many people isn't healthy. Just that sentence, saying that out loud, communicating with this many people isn't healthy. Communicating with this many people is it, like, it sounds silly. You're just like, no, I know it. I mean, if it's in my head, I know I don't have to say it out loud. But like, I think that's the kind of thinking that leads us to have anxiety, to let our emotions kind of get the better of us. Is like we have this confidence in what we think we should be able to deal with emotionally, and then we're confronted with situations where we can't, and then we don't know what the hell's going on. And so like it's nice, like even just for me having like a mantra that I would say out loud of like, everything is going to be better. Like it's gonna be stressful when we start building our set, it's gonna be stressful right before we go live for the first time, where it's just like all the expectations of our community. And it's like, even just saying it out loud to myself, like everything's gonna get better. Like that does, like with Huber with dopamine and leveling, like it does something to you chemically. Like it does, it's like taking a pill kind of a little bit for your brain. So if you can find something, if you're in a situation and you can get back to the kitchen or get to the break room or at the beginning of your shift or the end of your shift, just have a sentence that just kind of reminds you, right. I don't have to worry about this stuff, because it's easier said than done.
I think that's good.
No joke. My mantra is Mahomes. I'll say that while I'm playing games getting mad. Or even in real life now.
Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Yes.
What does that
Mahomes
mean?
Is a football player who keeps it cool. Keeps it cool at all times. Yeah.
What does the Fonzie do? He keeps it cool.
Yep.
Maybe if I just say like Daigo, maybe they'll do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Daigo, dude.
The beast.
Because that's kind of what you're doing, Huber. You're thinking of the next game, and that thought reminds you that life is good, that you have a goal. The happiness is coming. It's not here now, but you're gonna get there.
Bonds.
That's right.
Next question comes in from James. Please rate the following games from best to worst in your opinion. Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Tactics, Chrono Cross, Xenogears, and Suikoden 2. I feel like inherently guilty about this. Like I've played all these games, but I've not finished all of these games.
I think we put Xenogears last without guilt because of its ending.
Because it's an unfinished game.
I would probably put Chrono Cross maybe.
But Blood loves Chrono Cross.
I would think Chrono Cross would be last. It's a game.
Okay. All right, cool. Then I'm cool with that too.
I mean, you would talk about endings. Chrono Cross is bizarre.
Okay.
Like you can't even find how to get the true ending in a strategy guide. You got to like ask somebody or look it up on GameFAQs. It's weird.
All right, so that's last. Then
I probably
Xenogears.
played to be fair, I probably played the least amount of Chrono Cross out of any of them. But
Also, Chrono Cross is in serious need of like an editor to just go through and like remove half of that game that doesn't matter. Too many
the music's
characters.
fantastic.
Yes, absolutely fantastic.
Let's I know this is bait. I know they want tactics above 7, but I think 7 should be first.
I'll agree. Yeah.
It's hard for me, Kyle, because like I just have so much emotion tied to 7. Like it was definitely a game that got me into RPGs and like kind of wowed me from so many different angles. So it's hard for me to like pick it apart when I'm so emotionally invested in Final Fantasy 7.
7 to me is the most iconic, but I do not like the second half of that game at all. So
Whoa.
Hot
dude.
takes.
Whoa.
Dang.
it's like once I got out of the first disc, I started liking that game less and less and less. And once I got to the final battle, I'm like, just end this, please.
I didn't even get out of the first disc, Blood. So
Yeah, Midgar is a culmination.
Blood,
Yeah.
you're telling me you got to the casino and you're like, this sucks.
Golden Sauce.
It's no Dragon Quest casino.
Golden Sauce is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I would definitely go to like the variety of stuff you can do, just the visual element of it.
Yeah, it's a theme park.
Blood, you're telling me you got in a submarine in 3D and you're rolling your eyes like boring.
I mean, dude, the motorcycle part, dude, Road Rash did it better. The snowboarding part, Sonic 3 did it better.
Sonic 3 did a snowboarding part better than 3D snowboarding?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Take it back, Huber.
I take it back. It was bait. I take it
It was
back.
bait.
It was bait.
Man, I don't know if I'm willing to like dismiss the second half of 7 so much. Like,
I'm sorry,
just
what's...
the stuff with Red 13 alone is so
you're
good.
good.
Oh,
We're off
yeah, I
topic. We're off
forgot.
topic.
Everything in the Canyon's awesome. So wait, what was the 5th game?
So we have Suikoden 2, Final Fantasy
Oh,
Tactics. Yeah. So listen, Suikoden 2 is amazing. Like what they achieved with that game, what you can do. Like I honestly don't know if I've played an RPG where you build up a space and feel like you have so much ownership over it. Like they had in Suikoden 1, but the amount that they go to in 2, like I want to put Suikoden 2, like if we're going to put Final Fantasy 7 as number 1 as a group pick, that's fine. I'd really like to vouch for Suikoden 2 as number 2.
Cool.
You got it.
Done.
Okay.
All right. I haven't
Ben,
played it, but I'll trust you, Ben.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. We got there.
Okay, so we're going to do... Like, Tactics is so hard for me because I love Tactics, but I haven't actually finished Tactics. And so, again, I feel like this list is a little bit shoddy, but...
I mean, I'll put in for Tactics. Like that game's shoddy. No lower than 3. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with
Tactics-
Jones.
Tactics
Tactics
is-
is really good.
Out of
Okay.
control.
Evilise.
Tactics. Let me put it this way: when we worked on the Final Fantasy retrospective, that was all hands on deck. Like I grabbed all sorts of people. I threw 10 at this person and 8 at this person, and I got some friends to come in to do 10-2, and like we all picked like the stuff that we were gonna do. Tactics was insurmountable. Like Tactics bounced between all sorts of different people because they were just like, it's too much. I can't. I put in 15 hours and I was like, all right, I took the memory card and gave that to somebody else and they put in 20 hours. Then we're like, I have this project. I have that, like it's just too big of a game compared to every other Final Fantasy game. And like, that's impressive.
Tactics.
So we'll do 7, Suikoden 2, Tactics, Xenogears, Chrono Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, bring Tactics back.
Nice.
That actually went a lot better than I thought.
Think about how
Wanted to
sick
like
a
it on
modern,
phones, but,
like a modern Final Fantasy Tactics game could be.
I feel like whenever you say this on the internet, you sound like a total idiot, but I don't know how else to phrase it. I always had this really deep appreciation for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and I feel like that game gets little love, or I see little love. Like, there's some things that totally suck about it. I do think the judges are dumb, but I really liked that game a lot. I liked how it looked visually. I liked the way that they handled jobs.
Yeah.
I liked the storybook aesthetic.
I've only played the PSP one.
War of the Lions.
That's War of the Lions. That's Final Fantasy Tactics, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only one. Yeah.
All right, cool. That went pretty well, I think. All right. Next question is from Kyle. Do you have a favorite video game sound effect?
Nice.
When you find a secret in Zelda, the chime that plays or whatever.
I think leveling up in Dragon Quest is pretty damn good.
I don't know if it's picking up a turkey or hitting someone with a pipe in Streets of Rage. It's like a...
Oh, yeah! Yes!
It's like a double sound. It's like a...
All of the Streets of Rage, like when there's fire in Streets of Rage 1, it sounds really good.
Huber, what about
Kart...
the menus in RE2, Huber?
That's so good, too. So good. Yeah, that's probably it. That's like the most comforting sound ever.
In Mario Kart 64, when you pick an option, Mario will ask you okay, and I've never heard Mario sound like so kind of passive aggressive about it, because he asks like a question, he goes okay, like it's just kind of charming and insulting at the same time, and it's the only instance I can find of Mario sounding like that, and there's just something about Mario saying okay that makes me really happy. I don't know.
The noise in Smash Bros when you hit someone with a fully charged up bat.
Yeah, dude.
Dopamine, dude. That's a dopamine rush.
Ben, you should appreciate this one. The pounding on the door in Eternal Darkness.
Yes,
dude.
It sounds like there's literally someone at your front door.
That was my very first thought when it happened. Yep. Dude, Eternal Darkness is amazing. Everybody played it. It's like way more amazing. Like, I knew it was good. Everybody always thought about how good it was, but
it's aged well.
Yes, it has.
No one's attempted it since. They made one of those, and that might be the only one of those we ever get.
Yeah, I'm thinking like because like saves have become so unified and like there's rules about like icons that have to be on screen while you're saving and stuff like that. I don't think they could pull those tricks anymore. I think that would be like against Sony and Microsoft regulation to like play around with like, oops, we deleted your files. You know what I mean? I don't think they could do that.
You got to be a big boy in the industry to do that.
Yeah.
Like Kojima.
Is if you boot it up like an Eternal Darkness sort of game, and it said, listen, if you fuck up badly enough, we're going to tweet things. We're just going to tweet. You have to be responsible for it.
All right, that's pretty good.
The QuickTime event noise in Shenmue. Yeah. It's like very loud and intense. It's like, get ready.
Yeah.
Also, my two sound effects that are always delightful in any medium is the Batman grapple shoot and the Batman throw. I love that.
So sick. Dude,
when it comes back, like it gets quiet, and then he catches it.
Yes.
The best.
And the throwing the like freeze bombs when they just like erupt on someone, it's like a cool noise. Sweet justice.
This segment,
not that we have any idea,
right?
We are out of time. How do we feel about one more question?
Sure, one more.
Daniel asks, "Hi guys, what is the story behind the voice for the old GT Countdown videos? And no, I don't mean Jones. You know, the unique kind of deep voice that would introduce a lot of videos and maybe name each number between Jones's eloquent explanations. Wasn't on all videos, but a lot of them. Always wondered. Love and respect, Daniel in Montana."
Shout out.
Shout out, dude. Shout out.
Richard Brown, who is a voice actor. He's been in a couple things, but most notably, he's Big Bang, or what's his name? Big Boom, Big Studio. What's his?
Big Band.
Big Band.
Yeah.
In Skullgirls.
You can find him on Twitter.
Yeah.
I am Rich Brown, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's still it.
And and Rich and I have actually kind of played phone tag ever since Easyali started, where it kills me because he'll grab me like I think before our first concert, he was like, "Is that tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I get you a ticket," and he didn't reply. I was like, "Ah," and he actually reached out to me right before we went we broke for the holidays, and he's like, "Did you guys record? Do you have the last group stream?" I was thinking about stopping by, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're all out of town, man." He was like, "Oh okay."
Really,
hopefully we'll make that happen.
With Rich. Because I mean, I think we talked about Rich on Papa Jones one time when I dropped by, but like, yeah, Rich Brown and I were like brothers at GT forever.
And yeah, Huber levels of enthusiasm from that guy. Like that guy would get excited for something like nobody's business.
That's high praise.
My car on 3 different occasions wouldn't start in the parking lot, and Rich Brown on 3 separate occasions had jumper cables and was like not even rude, just like, I got you, buddy.
That's a real life superhero. That's a superhero in real life.
But that's Rich Brown every day though. Like he was the go-to guy for anything technical. Something wasn't working, he would jump in and figure it out and do all the details. And yeah, he was doing all kinds of craziness. He was total support.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Thank you to everybody who submitted questions. This has been a fun Q&A. Sorry if we didn't get to your questions. Next month, there will be, towards the end of the month, a post saying when we're going to be collecting more questions. That way everybody has a chance to kind of get there at the same time if they want to.
Technically this month.
Yeah, technically this month. Yes. It's getting confusing with time. Technically this month. For January, we'll do that. But yeah, thank you to everybody who submitted questions, who's involved in this process. It's fun interacting with the community like this. Thank you to all the allies. Some of you I haven't seen in like 2 weeks, so this was jolly. And yeah, we will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.